Have you ever sat down and looked at your setup and there was just that one cable that's bothering you and you're like in your head, you gotta get rid of that? Or is it just me? When it first came to planning and building my dream gaming setup, and even before this one, I always wanted that floating monitor look. No cables between the bottom of my monitors and the top of my desk. I did not want to see a single cable, except for the cold cable for my keyboard, which is okay. Anyways, I also wanted to do this by not using a desk monitor mount to achieve the floating monitor look, and not using any sort of wall panels to hide the cables. Today I'm going to show you basically how I achieve this look and give you some tips so you can apply it for your setups. A lot goes into planning and building your setup, and me, I take it seriously. Because I spent so much money on this setup and so much time in here, I just want it to look nice and clean. There are some things I would recommend buying and things I've used to achieve the floating monitor look, and here they are. Firstly, a no-brainer, monitor mounts. I mounted all my monitors to the wall. Now, if you're able to drill holes into the wall, I would 100% recommend doing this. To budget the total cost of the setup, I used generic TV wall mounts for my left monitor and my center monitor. Now, I know they don't have the same movement as a real monitor mount with the 360 movement and all that full motion stuff, but if you know that you won't be moving the monitor as much, it's okay. For the right monitor, I did get an actual monitor mount. I did have it vertical, but now I just don't like the look, so I kept it horizontal. And this mount was a bit more expensive than the others. Those helped me with getting the floating monitor look. Now, how did I hide the cables exactly? I did not run them through the wall because that's not allowed up here in North America, because your house can catch on fire and it won't be covered by insurance. So don't do that if you are planning to. To hide the cables, I used a bunch of zip ties, which are great for hiding cables that are going to be there more permanently. I also used Velcro straps because they look nicer and you could take away and hide cables just in case you need to in the future. And some of these mini cable clips, and these are awesome because they have some 3M adhesive and you can stick them to any surface you need. I also have one of these cable holders on the bottom of my desk and I've been trying to get it off for a long time. I even tried using a heat gun and it's not working. So basically that's all the things that I use to achieve this look and hide my cables properly. And by the way, everything that I just listed is also linked down in the description just in case you need. Now how I did it. Now typically people route their cables down from the monitors straight under their desk, but I routed them to the right towards my PC. And this helped to have no cables be seen from the front. I used these mini cable clips and stuck them to the back of my monitors to route the power, HDMI, and DisplayPort cables neatly behind my monitors. And the Govee light bars are just wrapped up and kept back there, kinda neatly. For more permanent cables, I used zip ties to mount the cables to the arms of my monitor mounts. I couldn't really use Velcro straps because they're not that long and zip ties are more secure. And basically the rest where I had to bunch all the cables, I used Velcro straps. Behind my PC is also where I mounted my power bar, instead of mounting it under my desk. This also helped with any power cables that were too short. Say for my left monitor, it was a bit too short, but it just reached. And then after that, everything gets plugged into my PC. It's also a little messy behind my PC here. I still have to finish the setup and the whole office actually, so some things are not yet perfect. And now for some tips and tricks. Basically when you're building your setup and you're doing your cable management, you want to take as much time as you can. If you need longer cables, get longer cables, or use a lot of Velcro straps. For example, above my power supply, this is a spot where the cables are pretty visible from different angles. I neatly bunched them up and used a lot of Velcro straps to make it look clean. Or if you could try to mount your monitors, 100% try to mount your monitors to the wall. And if you do, make sure you measure it correctly. As you can see, I kind of messed up and now I have to patch and paint those holes again. This is just a simple guide to help you build your setup and I kind of wanted to share how I built it. This whole thing took me about 4 to 5 hours to mount the monitors and cable manage. I took my time, I had to restart sometimes, made some mistakes, but it's good because in the end it looked really clean. I hope this video somewhat helped you guys and make sure your cables look clean. Or don't, it's not my setup.